What makes you sad always?
Death of my wife. It has been almost 13 years and I can start bawling my eyes out at the drop of a hat. Sad commercial, country western song, sappy movie. I just sob. She was the light of my life and the apple of my eye. We shared 29 glorious years, but it will never have been enough. She was only 50.
I lost my wife to cancer after 10 years. She was 31 years old. I can only imagine the extent of your pain. I hope you have found happiness in her absence. I have remarried and I am happy, but I will never be whole again.
My girlfriend just got cancer surgery last month. She's only my girlfriend because we can't afford insurance if we were married, and I am what most people would consider successful, but the bills are crazy when it comes to cancer. She's doing well as of now, but this hit home. Before, it was life as usual, but the last 6 months I started thinking about what it would be like to be a single father of a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old. Not trying to sound selfish, of course my main concern is for her. But thinking about, and I mean really understanding it could be a real possibility, doing it without her fucked me up a few times. Even now when I hear certain songs or see something I get a bit teary-eyed. And I was taught to be a strong man and bear a burden so others can be weak in their time of need, by my old man. So this is pretty new to me. I've had people pass that I've cared about, but this is just different. Pull it back in quick and continue strong for the kids. Edit, shit, even rereading this almost got a tire. Quick turnaround, happy face cause it's bedtime for the kids.
That there are certain people in my life who were so important to me in the past, but are gone now. Like deceased or drifted away and don't want to talk to me, or were an online friend that I can't find anymore. I've been missing a few old friends a lot, and at the time, they meant the world to me. Stuff happened, and we went our separate ways. Now I would love to chat with them just to catch up. Nothing more, no hidden meaning. It's hard for me to reach out to others, so it's a big step. One I have no direct way to contact. The other? Left unread. I guess it makes sense, but it hit me in the nostalgia and stings a bit right now. Make sure you tell people at some point what they meant to you. Even if that meaning has changed and faded over the years. Even if you were just thinking about the good old days and they were special. Tell them. And if you get a nice message, don't leave them on read.
This comment hit really hard, man. One of my friends just went off to college and she just sorta cut contact. She has no idea, but she meant the world to me. She was the one person who paid attention to me and took me in when I was the weird new kid. She had no idea and I guess she never will.
My mom passed away recently, at only 49 years old. My biggest fear was losing her. I can barely function anymore, and feel like I lost my will to live. My life feels surreal now. Every time I think of her I am so beyond devastated, it's indescribable. Edit, thank you to everyone who said kind things or shared their stories as well. I will be reading all of your comments. My mom was my best friend, and things have been really challenging lately.
My age. While 70 is a milestone, I miss the days of youth. I miss my vigor and energy. I wake up sad some days because I know my days on this earth are dwindling. I wish I had done more in life even though my accomplishments in my career were satisfying. I wish we had had more children. At the same time, I'm glad to be retired, even with the meager pensions we have now. And after 50 years of marriage, I'm glad to spend my final years with my best friend and lover. I'm sad there's just so little time left.
I'm in the same position. What I dread most is the day one of us is no longer here. Thinking about that, when I will be lying in bed alone and missing her so much, is almost more than I can bear. On the plus side, it makes me appreciate so much the time we have together. My wife snores a bit, not much but enough to keep me awake some nights. I know I could move to another room, but for me, I'll take being a bit tired tomorrow over sleeping alone tonight.
God. One of the things I most regret is disappointing my second grade teacher. It's been 12 years now and I still think about it. She taught me so many important things in life. I was late to school a lot, so she made a calendar for me where if I go to class on time every day for a month, then she'll buy me a prize. I remember she bought me a Geronimo Stilton book, and another time she got me a sketchbook because I like to draw. She also taught me how to read. We read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and she'll explain to me what I just read. I could pronounce the words from the page, but a lot of times I didn't know what I just read. She went out of her way to help make me into a better person, and I stole someone's Pokemon cards. I admitted that I did it because I felt so guilty, and I remember the disappointment in her eyes. Probably one of the worst things I could imagine. If I had one chance to fix something in my past, it would be to beat some sense into my 7-year-old dumbass. Seeing pictures of my dad. My parents divorced when I was 3, and courts didn't allow a lot of visitation time for my dad. He finally got me out of a bait situation with my mom when I was 15, and got me back on track. He died a few years later, and I always feel like I got cheated out of having him in my life. Edit. Thank you all for the kind words, and also all the awards. I definitely was not expecting this to get any attention, but I really do appreciate everyone for reaching out. You guys are awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just makes that time more valuable and memorable. My oldest sister died 3 years ago. She was 33 and I was freshly 18. With the age gap, our relationship was hard and she always sucked ass at showing up. Finally got to a point in our lives that we could have an adult relationship, and I'm telling you, man, all I ever wanted growing up was to be like her and be with her. But we finally get to that point, and she died of liver and kidney failure. Couldn't stop drinking. I get a huge mix of sad and angry emotions over it. But instead of still being mad and upset that it happened, I've learned to cherish the memories I have with her and the time I had spent. I learned from the mistakes she made. I know our situations aren't really close to the same, but I too feel cheated out of having her in my life. But you have to move on from that and hold on to what you have. He got you back on track. Stay on track and be the best you that you can be. Cherish the years you had with him and regret nothing. Death is very hard and fucked up, but it has to make us stronger in the end.
As sad as it is, take some time to prepare for the inevitable. Get as many old pictures as possible, and take as many new ones as possible. And make sure you get some of you together with them. As an aside, if you don't like having your picture taken, get over it. This is important, and we all feel like we look better when we were younger, so when you see these pictures 10 years from now, you'll think you looked great. Get at least one voice recording of them. Get a few videos, especially ones where they were doing what they love most, so you can remember what they look like as they beam with happiness. And most importantly, spend time talking to them, hearing their stories, finding out new things about them, and where they've been, and even how they messed up in their youth. Just take time for and with them. You won't regret it. One great way to do this is by exploring a hobby or skill they have that you want to learn. Not only will you have time for stories and questions, and to get a chance to see them doing something they love, you'll have an activity you can do after they're gone that will make it feel like they're still there.